Which workbench is right for you? Today in part 1 we'll test Sawhorses with a plywood sheet, a basic 2x4 table, a craftsman style 4x4 bench, and the Paulk torsion bench. Then join me in part 2. I'll build my own engineered bench, cheap, easy to build, and dead nuts straight. We're starting just with a sheet of plywood and Sawhorses, and it gets just one thing that's fundamentally right and it has in common with the real workbenches, and that is it's an elevated surface. It's super easy to build because all you have to do is buy or build Sawhorses. Your flatness, so this is a measure of how much curvature. It's not going to be good. Okay, so we're going to put 2.5 pounds on this and see what we displace. I'm getting about 6 millimeters of displacement. Your stability, it's not good, of course, on the sheet itself, but I realized that the Sawhorses were stronger than I thought because they are built as triangles. So I took this aluminum plate. I put this heavy aluminum plate, which kind of gets rid of the flex, and I tested out. It's surprisingly good. In terms of the portability, of course, you've got the ability to either fold these or stack them and then toss this. So it's very hard to do anything better than this. But for the purposes of this video, I'm really more interested in workbenches for the workshop. This one you can practically build without any plans. Basically just grab a sheet of plywood, a whole bunch of 2x4s, and start going for it. As you can see, it's very minimal. You basically you're framing around the edges of the plywood, and then you're putting in 2x4 legs. And you've got that extra center leg just so you can make it a little bit more stable. So this one's a little bit different with the load test because it's got that center leg. None of the other ones have a center leg. It's doing quite well. It's only moving that needle a little bit. It's pretty easy to construct. I mean, it's not much different than building some Sawhorses. In terms of flatness, it's okay with that. The main difficulty that you get here is where do you get some 2x4s that are actually flat? Now, in terms of stability, this is not good at all. You can probably see this. And you may have experienced this yourself if you ever had a workbench like this. It's just not good. In fact, if I get my aluminum plate here and put it on, which to simulate a little bit of weight, you can see if I go up against it, it's got a little bit of almost a resonance to it. And I find that really annoying in a workbench. I want one that is really solid. Portability is not good either because these legs are fixed in place. So this is a workbench that I really can get excited about because it really is a solid construction. So unlike the first two, which really were trying to make things as easy as possible, you got to put a little bit of work into this. In particular, because it's using 4x4 legs, you've got to mortise in the legs. And I learned also that when you do this, you've got to cut these with a 45 degree or they're not going to have enough room in the mortise. So anyway, it looks great. You get a shelf as well. It's obviously you're putting in maybe 3 times the work as the other ones. Let's see how this one does. Okay. Needle is moving a little bit, depending on where I put it. In terms of flatness, it's about the same as the previous one. There's no advantage there. You've still got this issue of 2x4s that may or may not be straight. The stability is really good. I mean, I'll try to get my piece of aluminum back in here. It's practically dead. So it seems like it's worth the time to build a workbench like this. Now, obviously, it's not going to be portable. That's going to be an issue. But I think you could do a lot worse than build this style workbench. Here we have a very interesting workbench. This is the Ron Paulk. I believe this is the original design and not his current design. It consists of these two separate units, which are torsion boxes. So if I do this to them, they really don't move. And then it also has these kind of ingenious sawhorses. This is not the fancy version. This is some basic versions. What impresses me is the thickness of this, which really gives you that tremendous stiffness, even though it's using light wood. And of course, it's got all the nice holes in here as well. It's a good system that works well. He also has a video or multiple videos where he's jumping on top of it just to show the strength, and obviously that strength is there. Okay, this one I had to build some little legs because the height wasn't quite working out with what I had. You can see the displacement. It's very small on this bench. This is the best result, although I will say this is a slightly shorter bench, being a 6-foot bench instead of an 8. It's very impressive considering the lightweight build. Ease of construction. Now, this is going to be a real effort to build this. It's going to require some specialized skills, maybe some templates, a router probably. You're going to be putting a lot of effort into this, but what you get out is going to be flat, it's going to be stable, it's going to be very strong, and then it's also going to be portable. So I think this is a great solution. So which workbench is right for you? Well, I've shown you the strengths and weaknesses of these, and you can see that really what you get out is what you put in. However, in my second video, I'm going to show you my design, which is really not hard to build at all, but it excels in all the characteristics that I just measured. So I hope you tune into that one. And meanwhile, it's been a great time building all of these models. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with them now. Maybe I will just start my own miniature workshop. Thanks for watching.